What's good, YouTube? Akil here, back with another video, and I just got back from the thrift store. I know I usually try to put out some of these videos earlier in the day, but I'm so glad I was able to just record a little more footage for you guys, because after going back out today, I was able to come up on some really good stuff. And usually these videos are basically like a culmination of the past 2, sometimes 3 days worth of thrifting, and it's a bunch of different locations that I try to squeeze into one video. So if you guys enjoy this one, and without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so we are in the first location, and I came across this very random guitar looking thing. This is called the Jaminator. For some reason I thought this was going to be just like a regular rock band guitar, but this one, it actually was battery operated, and it was definitely much older. I think it was dated like 1990 or something like that. The comps on this one was really tricky. I seen some sell for like 100 plus, then I seen others sell for like 30 or 40 bucks. And I even seen some people have it listed really high, others had it listed low. So I really wasn't too sure about the comps, but overall ended up passing on that because they were asking 36 bucks for that, and I just thought that was too much. Now here, you guys know I come across a ton of Bose stuff. Here was another one of those Bose portable sound docks. This one was missing the charger, but I'm still gonna grab this one up because since I've been finding so much Bose stuff lately, pretty sure I'll still be able to come across one of those chargers eventually. It might take a few weeks, a few months, or maybe a couple hours, but still gotta grab that one up. Now this one was a really good find. Came across this pair of Nike Tiger Woods golf shoes, and these are one of the older ones, so not necessarily vintage, but you know, people that really love their Tiger Woods stuff and just the golfing clothing line, they clamor for these types of stuff. So I'm gonna list these on the higher end, probably like 110, maybe 120, and just wait for the right buyer to come along. Now this was another really interesting find. Came across the original Xbox, and surprisingly these are still selling for a ton of money, especially if you can bundle them the right way, if you can include some controllers, if you have all the wires, and especially if you can add some good games to it like Halo and stuff like that. These Xbox could bring in some really good profit. So definitely excited about this one, and I'm surprised they're only asking 25 bucks for this. Some of these other thrift stores, they usually charge up to like 60-70 bucks for some of these those older consoles. So definitely a really good find. Now this is something different, definitely a shoe that's gonna stand out. This brand is called New Republic, and it's definitely not like a high-end brand or luxury or super expensive, definitely a more affordable brand, but their shoes are, in my opinion, are really good quality. So still decided to grab those up. I think I'll be the only person with those on eBay, so I figured I might as well take a chance with those, list them on the more conservative side, because for retail I think they were only selling for like 60 or 80 bucks. So came across some more Bose speakers. These are actually some bookshelf speakers, the 201 Series 3. Unfortunately, they were asking a little too much for these this time. Sometimes I catch them slipping, sometimes I don't, but these speakers just don't sell for that much money overall, and they were asking like 25 bucks for them. So the first time in a long time that I ended up passing on something that was Bose. So here we are in the electronic section still. Came across this. I'm finding a ton of vintage games lately. This one is dated 1978. So all I'm going to have to do for this one is to get one of those kind of older batteries. I never see these batteries anymore, but I'm going to just try to grab one of those up, because comps on these were just around 25 to 30 bucks. So that should be a quick flip. Now, I don't sell a ton of clothes anymore, but the thing with clothing is if I can find something that's really dope and I think will sell kind of quick, I usually always grab it up. And this Woolrich shirt, for some reason, really stood out to me. And after checking the comps, the ones with the bolder type of Southwestern print, those are selling for right around like 30 to 40 bucks. So I figured this one might be worth it for me to grab and flip. Alright, y'all, switched it up and went to a different Goodwill. I actually never been to this one before, so I was kind of glad to see that they had some good stuff in here. And first thing I saw was, of course, another set of Bose. This time around, they actually had just one price for everything. They were asking 40 bucks for all 4. And usually I have to kind of piece these sets together for myself. So this was actually a really nice surprise. Downside, of course, is that they didn't have that Acoustimass module cord. Just the cord itself usually sells for like 50 or 60 bucks. So I'm going to have to try to find that one. But thankfully, I was able to find the power cord for the subwoofer. So I'm definitely going to just add that to the bundle as well. But like I said before, since I wasn't able to find just the module cord itself, I'm going to have to just wait a while until I come across that. But definitely still had to pick this up for only 40 bucks. Now here is the TI-82 calculator, and that one This one just doesn't sell for that much money. As a whole, they're not selling that much anymore, but the 82 definitely never had that much value, so had to pass on that one. But here are some Patrick Ewing shoes, and I never sold any of these in the past. Rarely ever come across these. I don't think these are the original ones. If these were like the original ones from the 80s or the early 90s, definitely would have grabbed those up for sure. But I think these are just some of the newer retros that they came out with not too long ago. I realized just after doing some research, the ones that are collabs, those usually do a lot better and sell for way more money. Just some of these regular colorways, they don't sell for that much. So if it was like a Knicks colorway, definitely would have grabbed them up, but still a good find nonetheless. So this is definitely something that you guys need to pay close attention to, just so that you don't make a lot of the same mistakes that I used to make when I first started reselling. Here is a Harris Tweed blazer, and of course people know Harris Tweed, it's a really good brand. But at the end of the day, this garment in particular, as soon as I touch the sleeve, I can tell that somebody had gotten the sleeve shortened on this one. And just from prior experience, anytime I sell a jacket or any type of clothing that has previous alterations, it usually takes a very, very long time to sell. So for that reason, I usually always pass on it. And in my opinion, this jacket was really, really nice. It was more of the modern ones, as you guys can see, since it had some of the side vents. But because it was, like I said, previously altered, had to pass on that one. But I'm pretty sure somebody would enjoy that. So this was just a crazy find. If you guys follow the channel, you guys know I previously, pretty recent, just sold my Sony RX 103. That's basically the newer version to this one, but this one is the RX 102, and this one still sells for well over $200, sometimes $250, $260, depending on, you know, if you want to add anything extra accessories to it. But I had to grab this camera. They were asking a lot of money for this one. Clearly it looks like a newer camera, so they kind of knew what they had here. But for $70, I still had to grab that one up. So this was a very, very unique find. Here's a pair of shoes that have CSU Fullerton, California State University Fullerton. I'm assuming that these are vintage just based on how they look. But Goodwill's asking $10 for these shoes, and of course I wasn't able to find anything on Google or anything like that, but I still grabbed these shoes up only because you really never know. Something like this might have been a sample, might have been I don't know, maybe for the cheerleaders wore this, who knows, but I had to grab this up because it's stuff like this is why I enjoy thrifting so much, because you really never know what you're gonna find. So if I do list these on eBay, I'll just list them pretty high and just wait till the right buyer comes along. So went to a different Goodwill location here, and here's something called the Soul Skate. I've never seen this before. Comps on these were pretty weak though. I was seeing some people sell them for like $25. And those were like really clean. And then I seen some other people sell them in pairs, and they were also getting just around $30 for those. So I ended up passing on that one, especially since it was so dirty. And here is one of those Rock Band guitars. I never sold this one in particular before, but this one looks really nice. Definitely some different accents and some different features on this one for sure. These are selling for right around $50. And the good thing is I actually have some dongles just laying around in the house, because every time I go thrifting and I can find some of those dongles for the Rock Band, I'll make sure I grab those up just to complete the set. And of course I had to do the test, make sure that, you know, all the features were nice and still springy, and this one checked out perfectly, so I'm gonna have to scoop that one up. Now once again came across some more Bose surround sound speakers, but as you guys can see, it was missing the covering on there, so I had to pass on that. But I came across one of these MLB Nintendo games. This one in particular definitely not selling for a lot of profit at all, closer to maybe $15 at most. So I ended up passing on that one. It didn't even have a price, but pretty sure it wasn't worth it. So here was an Olympus camera. These are just some of those cameras that I love to sell, especially in this condition. This one might take a little longer to sell, because just checking the comps, it's not a ton of comps, not a ton of solds, but at the end of the day, these usually do bring in some decent profit, so I'm still gonna have to grab that one up. And here was a Nikon Coolpix. These older Coolpix cameras, I still pick these up all the time, especially the battery operated ones, because they usually still sell for right around $50 to $60, and they sell pretty quickly because a ton of people prefer those type of cameras that are battery operated. So I'm definitely gonna have to grab this one up, especially since the price was so good. Now I went back to the electronics section, and I've been selling a ton of speakers lately, and JBL is another good brand to be on the lookout for. This one in particular, this one was pretty rough. As you guys can see, had a lot of scratches and a lot of wear wear and tear on that one, so I ended up passing on these. But if you find JBL, you definitely want to check the comps, because some sell for a lot of profit, some don't. But that one I had to pass on. And once again came across some more Bose speakers. This one said it was a video speaker, not even sure what that really meant, but of course I had to just check the model number on the back. And once I did that, I was seeing that just one speaker was selling for right around 40 to 50 bucks. So not a ton of profit would be made, but still enough for me. Alright y'all, that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Mood just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this shit.